Which Canadian team in the NHL is the best right now? I'm your boy, Wild Rocky. If you're new here, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. But let's do it, guys. Which Canadian team is the best in the NHL right now? All right, guys. So there's 7 teams, obviously, in Canada that are in the NHL. And there's some good ones, man. But there's also some bad ones. So we're going to be going over them. If your favorite team is the Canadian team, make sure to comment down below how you're feeling about the team. What do you think the expectations are for the rest of the season? All that kind of stuff, guys. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe as well before we get into the video. But let's do this, guys. Let's start with the lower ends of the teams. We know who they are. Let's start with one that is very controversial at times, the Vancouver Canucks.
With his second of the game, the Canucks have their first lead.
The Vancouver Canucks are the lowest team right now in the standings, and I could see why. There are a lot of controversy just in general throughout this roster. With Demko being hurt, with the trades rumors going throughout the locker room, with their captain Horvat, with Besser getting scratched. There's just a lot of issues going on with this team, man. Like, they shouldn't be this low. They have good, on paper, they have a good roster. You have some studs up front. Pettersson, Besser, Horvat. Like, I didn't even name all of them. Unreal players. Even Kuzmenko right now is popping off for this team. And obviously on the back end, you have Quinn Hughes. Very, very good player. But obviously the loss of Demko really shows how bad this defense really is for the Canucks. This last season, Demko really stood on his head and it got them some victories. But this season, man, he was not doing that. He was not on his normal form. And it showed, man. It showed very, very bad. They let in 6 goals a game, it felt like. And it was just very, very bad in the Canuck camp. I just feel like the locker room hasn't been set. I feel like there's always a player on ease. Oh, am I going to get traded? Like, how are you about to trade Bo Horvat? I know he declined the contract, and his contract's about to be up, and I think he will be traded. I think it's most likely that he will be traded. He's a very good player, but like, I don't know what's going wrong in this locker room. Canucks fans, I know there's a couple I've talked to you before. You guys have a good roster, man, and it just did not work out. I don't know if it's the coaching staff. I know Boudreau's a good coach, but I just don't know if he lost the locker room. I don't know what's happening with this Canuck team, but they're better than they are in the standings right now. They're better than 13-13-3. They're better than that, but maybe just chalk the season, go to next season. Hopefully you get a good draft pick, stuff like that. And maybe you have a chance for Bedard. I doubt that's going to happen, but there's a chance, I guess. But you just got to chalk the season and just write it up. And hopefully Demko's good for next season. And hopefully you keep these top end players and keep their morale up, because obviously that is a big piece of this. If you just don't want to end up keep losing Pettersson, you don't want to lose Quinn Hughes, you don't want to lose all these players. So we'll see what happens. But right now the Canucks, they're in complete shambles in my opinion, and they're a big disappointment. They're a huge disappointment so far in this NHL season. And the next team is only 1 point ahead of the Vancouver Canucks in the standings, and that is the Montreal Canadiens.
Number 13 for Cole.
This Canadian team is so fun to watch, man. They're super, super young. They have Cole Caulfield. They have Nick Suzuki. It's crazy how skilled they really are, even if you add Kirby Dach and etc. This team's really fun to watch, man. But obviously, just being fun to watch doesn't mean you're going to win games, and that has not really come easy for the Canadiens this year. They won 14 games, and they also lost 14 as well, and they only lost 2 in overtime. So obviously, they're not a playoff team, but I think it's getting better. Obviously, Jake Allen in that is not the greatest. Same with Sam Montembeault is not the greatest. Jake Allen has been absolutely horrendous this year, and as a starter, it's not good to have. You know what I mean? It's not good to have, especially with Price not being able to play. I don't know if he's going to be able to play again. I hope he does. He's just so good and helps his team out a lot, but I don't know anything about him. I don't know what's happening with him in the Price camp. But going to the Canadiens, man, this team, like I said before, they're very, very fun to watch. They're very fast paced. When you have Cole Caulfield, I really like the St. Louis signing as a coach, because he helped Caulfield get out of his shell, because he literally played the exact same way as Caulfield. It's crazy how good that they did with that. But Tavkovsky, I do like his development so far. He had a very poor start of the season, in my opinion. I don't think he played good at all, like at all. But he's been playing very, very good recently. He's been getting more minutes, getting power play time, getting all that kind of stuff. He usually got like 5-6 minutes a game, which is not good for a first overall pick, especially a young kid. It just doesn't help the confidence with all the hype going around his start of the season. So it was not great for him, but I do like how he's been playing recently. So that is a big positive for the Canadiens. I feel like that's the only thing you really care about is if you're a Canadiens fan, is just develop your younger guys. And it's honestly not bad being so low in the standings right now, because you have a chance for a generational player to add to your lineup in Bedard, and maybe even just a top 5 pick, which is awesome. Helps out the rebuild as well. So it doesn't matter if you guys are losing. Obviously, you guys want to win but there's no point of winning right now. You guys are developing, you guys are getting better, which is a huge positive. So maybe sign a good free agent. I know there's a couple free agents that are wanting you. Pierre-Luc Dubois said he wants to be Canadian. We'll see if that happens next year, and you guys could just jump up your rebuild that much quicker. So be good, get maybe a top 5, top 7 pick right now this next season, and just jump up that much quicker in your rebuild. But honestly, Canadiens fans, I know you guys are losing, but there's some positives here in your team. All right, guys, and this team has the exact same points as the Canadiens, but are higher in the standings, is going to be the Ottawa Senators.
Banks it off to Skater Romanov, and then gets his own rebound.
So Canucks, Canadiens, and the Senators are clearly the worst 3 teams in the 7 Canadian teams, and I just feel like there's some unlucky things going their way, and there's just some skill issues here. But let's go to the Senators here. They are a good team, and they had a lot of hype heading into the season. I wouldn't say too much hype, but there was some hype there. We heard it. A lot of Ottawa Senator fans, even the people I know and in my chat, said, you got to watch out for the Senators. They're going to make playoffs. We're going to be ahead of the Bruins. And boy, that did not happen. I know a lot of things did not go their way this season, but that did not happen. And it's one of the most disappointing teams, in my opinion, so far in the NHL is the Ottawa Senators. And let me tell you why. So this team has so many superstars or all-stars on their team. You have Brady Tkachuk, Alex DeBrincat, Claude Giroux, Batherson. I wouldn't say he's a superstar, maybe an all-star coming up soon, and Tim Stutzla as well, and Thomas Chabot. So there's a lot of superstars. There's a lot of great players on this team, and I feel like after their top players, there's a huge drop-off. The depth on this team is not there, and all their top players are honestly playing pretty damn well. Maybe Chabot can be doing a little better, and my one big issue as well is Alex DeBrincat only has 9 goals. They traded for him to put up 45 goals a season, and that did not happen this year. That is not happening right now. 9 goals on the year. I know he has 30 points in general, but you take that, but you want him having more points. You want him having more goals. I feel like this is the same way Matthew Barzal and the Islanders. Yes, he has a lot of points right now, but you want him to score goals. He's your top player. DeBrincat needs to be doing that, and he's not right now. So I feel like that is a big issue for the Senators as well. But Brady Tkachuk has a good year, 35 points, 30 games. You love to see that. 13 goals, 22 points, 22 assists. You love that. Minus 10 though. There's a lot of minuses on this team as well. Drake Batherson minus 19. Yes, he has 28 points, but 19 minus is not good at all for the kid. But once again, this team is young, and I know there's another goaltending issue on this team. Cam Talbot was hurt at the beginning of the year, but he's playing pretty damn good since he came back. 17 games played. He's won 8 and lost 7. And he has 2.55 goals against average and 9.16 save percentage. So it's actually not terrible, but it's not great for a younger team who really need the goaltender to maybe bail him out sometimes. But you can't really blame the goalie on this. I don't think that's the reason why they're losing. I think the depth-wise on this team is why they're losing. I feel like they don't really play defense. And I do think they have really good home ice advantage, man. Like, their fans are crazy. I know they don't sell out a lot or whatever, all that kind of stuff. But their ice is tough to play on, and they do perform pretty damn well on home ice. But inconsistent as well, but that's what you expect from a younger team. But I don't think they should trade anyone. I don't think they should try to trade for someone. Keep it. Maybe get a top 5, top 7 pick in this draft, and maybe get lucky for Bedard. But obviously, that's not a really thing you should hope for here. But it is what it is. Senator fans, you guys are good for the future. Don't worry about it. This is not your year. I don't think it was going to be your year. I don't know if I predicted them to be good this year. I don't remember, but I hope I didn't, because I would have been completely wrong. But they're good for the future. I do think these 3 teams that I did name, Canucks, Canadiens, and the Senators, are the worst out of the 7. All right, guys, the next team I feel like is a tier above, but they are also very disappointing this season, and that's going to have to be the Calgary Flames.
Flames uniform.
I know they are only 2 points above the Senators and the Canadiens, but I do think their team is a level above, but they just aren't playing to their form. So obviously, I think we can't agree with this. The Flames are not doing what they should be doing. I think they should be better. They're not scoring, and their top players are not doing what they should be doing. Kadri is not doing what he should be doing. 22 points in 31 games, 11 and 11. It's not good enough, man. That is not good enough. Tyler Foley, he's doing his thing. That is cool. But Jonathan Huberdeau, that trade is not working out right now for the Flames. I feel like he just hasn't settled down in Calgary and does what he usually did in Florida with the Panthers. He only has 18 points, 5 goals, 13 assists. He should be doing way better right now. I thought he would be doing it better. I feel like that is my fault, actually. I feel like I overhyped him just for his first year joining the Flames. I feel like it's tough being with one team basically your whole career and going right to Calgary, different setup, different team, different all that kind of stuff, man. and producing right away. I feel like it's kind of tough. So I feel like this team will step up towards the end of the season. It's just a tough time learning chemistry, because obviously Huberdeau was with Barkov and all that kind of stuff his whole career, so he's had chemistry built out through with him. So it's gonna be tough building that right away with this Flames team. But at the same time, the goaltending is not there for the Flames. Vladar is honestly has better stats than Markstrom. Markstrom has a 292 goals against average and an 892 save percentage, and that is horrible. Like, that is not good. Vladar is okay. The stats are better, but not great either. Like, he has like normal backup stats, but Markstrom is horrendous right now, and that is not helping this Flames team, especially when they cannot score the puck, because they're honestly, their home ice is tough to play on when they're playing the way they should be, and they are not doing that right now. I feel like Calgary is not an easy team to beat, but as of now, like, it might be like a team you want to play right now. I mean, like, I know early on the season they beat Pittsburgh pretty convincingly. I was like, okay, damn, like that, they're a tough team. So we just beat them recently. I know they still play pretty good actually, but like, we still beat them. You know what I mean? They couldn't score the puck on the Penguins when they were playing not the greatest. So this team is nasty, man. Even their decor is nasty. Mackenzie Weegar, Zadorov, Tanev. Like, this team has solid players, and they're just not doing it right now on the ice together. The chemistry must be off. I don't know if it's a coaching. Is it a coaching decision? You think they should maybe get rid of Sutter, even though he has been a good coach in the NHL before? I don't really know. Flames fans, please let me know down below. I'm very curious on what you think about your team. Now, up next is honestly quite opposite of the Calgary Flames, and that is going to be the Winnipeg Jets.
Backhand pass bounces through. The rebound's there, and he gets it right quickly onto the stick of Scheifele.
The Winnipeg Jets have been very surprising this season. I did not expect them to be this good, and I know a lot of fans and I know a lot of other fans were commenting on my videos and saying, you got to watch out for the Jets. And boy, they were right. Honestly, they were right. They're a pretty good team right now. They're a very hard team to beat. Their home ice is very tough to play on, and they're scoring a lot of goals. They do have a lot of star players that are putting the puck in the net and playing really good hockey right now. Kyle Connor, Pierre-Luc Dubois, Mark Scheifele, Blake Wheeler, other top players that we all know and we all love, or some of us love, I guess. But there's some couple other guys on the team that are surprising. Josh Morrissey leading the team in points, actually. 5 goals, 28 assists, pretty damn good. You love to see that. Is honestly helping out the team a lot. Adam Lowry as well has been very solid. 19 points. Cole Perfetti, very good player as well. 18 as well. The real reason this is happening for the Jets, and I was hyping him up before the season, and a lot of people were doubting him and saying he was not going to be good. And I've always said this. Connor Hellebuck is a top 3 goalie in the NHL, and no one believed me. I was getting slander from me saying that. I was saying that, a lot of people were saying I'm stupid, crazy, but boy, I was right this season. He is playing unreal. 239 save percentage, 239 goals against average, and a 927 save percentage is absolutely crazy. He is definitely top 3 right now in Vezina Trophy voting, in my opinion. He should be maybe even number 1 right now. It's tight with him and Olmark. I think Olmark has the edge right now, but he is up there, and I would not be surprised if he even has a chance of winning it this season if maybe Olmark goes bad. But he's helping the team. He's been the backbone of this team for honestly 10 plus years. He's been the reason they've been doing this. So he's the reason why they've been having so much success in recent history. But obviously, it obviously goes up to the forwards and the defense as well. But he is the main reason. He's the backbone of the team. And if he's rolling, the team is rolling. And that's exactly what happened. I know they did just get a big injury in Blake Wheeler. 26 points is now gone for what I think I heard like a month or something. That it will be a big blow. And he is big in the locker room, even though he just got his captaincy taken away. I'm glad that did not affect the locker room, because I know that's probably very tough for Wheeler going into the season, not being able to be captain. So that is big on him. But this guy, the star guys, Kyle Connor, Pierre-Luc Dubois, Scheifele, they need to keep stepping up. They need to keep going. I know Pierre-Luc Dubois, I heard rumors saying he's going to Montreal. He wants to go to Montreal. I wonder if that's still the case, even though this team's doing way better than Montreal. I wonder if that's going to happen. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know what he's going to think. But this team's very, very surprising. We'll see if they can keep it up. I know it's going to be very, very tough, but we'll see if they can go through these injuries and maybe sneak into the playoffs, because right now they're in a good spot. Central's a tough spot right now, and they're actually looking. They're on the inside looking out. You know what I mean? They're looking at these outside teams. They're like, okay, you got to beat us first. So we'll see what happens with that. It's gonna be a very tight race. We'll see what happens. Jet fans, let me know how you guys are feeling going on this season, and what are you looking forward to? Because this Jets team, they're very fun. We'll see what happens. It's gonna be a close race. I'm not gonna tell you my opinion right now, because right now it's tough, man. It's tough to think about the Jets, but right now you got to be happy with what you see. Now we have two teams remaining, the Edmonton Oilers and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Who is it going to be? I feel like it's honestly pretty damn obvious. I'm not just going off the standings here. I just feel like this roster is completely better, but we're going over the second place team right now, and that has to be the Edmonton Oilers.
Are you watching this? What a brilliant piece of work from...
Right now, they're not playing the greatest hockey. I know there's some controversy going around. Actually, as I'm recording, they're losing the Ducks right now, 3-2. I have no idea what's happening right now. It's intermission right now, so who knows what the ending of that be if they lose that game. All hell is going to break loose in the Oiler camp, but I know there's some controversy with their last game, all that kind of stuff. I don't care about that. This team, I feel like they should be doing way better right now. They're 17-13-1, and that's not good enough, man. That's not good enough for this team. I thought they're going to be regular season demons this season, and that was not the case. I know some issues be going on in the back end. Jack Campbell, I did call it, guys. You guys were all hyping him up. He's better than Tristan Jarry, all that kind of stuff. You're wrong. He's played absolutely horrible this year. I did call it. Unfortunately, I do like the guy. I know him personally. I say this every time. I do know him, and I do respect him. I could call him my friend, but he's playing absolutely horrible this year. 4.04 goals against average, an 8.75 save percentage. Not good at all. Very, very bad. But you do have Stuart Skinner, who has been pretty damn solid this year. 2.76 goals against average and 9.19 save percentage. So we'll take that. But obviously, if I'm an Oilers fan, I'm not super confident going to the playoffs with these goaltenders in the back, and maybe this defense as well. It's not the greatest. Darnell Nurse is not playing great with that cap hit for sure. But obviously, you have Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. 60 points for McDavid, 27 goals, 33 assists in 31 games. He's a cheat code, man. He's a cheat code. Leon Draisaitl, 52 points, 21 goals, 31 assists. It's just what they do, man. It is what they do. They just put up points on ease every single night. And you have some, obviously, other players. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 35 points. Zach Hyman right under him with 34. Then Tyson Barries as well is putting up a good season as well. But other than that, man, obviously the Evander Kane injury did not help out for this team. I hope he's okay. I know he's gonna be good. I think he will be coming back this season. I could be wrong. To Oilers fans, please let me know down below. But that's obviously a huge loss because he was another big scorer on this team, and he was basically a point per game this season. But that's a huge loss for them. But honestly, man, this team has not been good at all. I feel like this team should be better. Obviously, I still think they're the second best team in Canada, but we'll see what happens. I think if goaltending gets up more solid, this team's gonna be scary, man. They're obviously already scary because they can score 5-6 goals a night. But other than that, if the goalies start making the key saves towards playoff time, it's gonna be very scary. And maybe they can go farther in the conference finals like they did last year. I doubt it, but you can't really count out McDavid and Draisaitl. But it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tough. But obviously, you really can't count them out. And now the best team in Canada, pretty convincingly, honestly, is the Toronto Maple Leafs. They've been doing it all, honestly. They've had a lot of injuries and goaltender issues, all that kind of stuff. But hey, they've been playing really, really good hockey. Mitch Marner, 23 game point streak, unreal. I know that did just end, but 37 points in 31 games, 12 goals, 25 assists. He's probably the best playmaker right now in hockey. It's just unbelievable to say that. Then Austin Matthews is right under him, 35 points. I do maybe wish he could have more. He could have more than 15 goals, but hey, that's going to improve, man. You can't really take that out of Matthews' game. He's going to be scoring those goals, and he's probably going to get 50 somehow this season. That's just what he does, man. William Nylander's doing his thing again. That's what he does as well. Same with John Tavares. Their top players are doing what they usually do, and that's exactly what has to happen if you're a Maple Leafs fan, if you want to win something. Because honestly, surprisingly, both of these goalies are actually playing pretty damn good hockey right now. Samsonov has a 1.70 goals against average, 9.39 save percentage. Unreal. Only 11 games played, obviously, so you got to keep that in mind. So only 11, small sample size. But same thing with Matt Murray, 11 games played, 2.46 goals against average, and a 9.24 save percentage. If you ask the Maple Leafs fans if you could have both goalies playing pretty damn good hockey right now, they would take that all day. And that's exactly what's happening right now. They're playing very good, and that's a big reason for this team playing really good and being towards the top of the NHL standings. So can they keep this up is a big thing. Can the Leafs keep up consistently? So obviously, goalie is a huge issue, but I think they'll be just fine because they're gonna keep scoring goals because that's exactly what they do. They just score goals with ease, and that's a huge big part of their game. And if going forward towards the playoffs, if the goalies can stay consistent somehow, this team can hopefully win a round. I know we say it every year. Maple Leafs, please win a round. Please, Game 7. Just don't go Game 7, man. Just do not go to Game 7 because you guys are not icy. You're not icy. Just now, the goalies never show up. You guys can't score in Game 7s. just don't go to game 7. Just don't go to game 7, man. I'd rather you guys get swept than go to game 7, man, because it's just not again. You can't see that again, man. But this team is so fun to watch. Very fast paced, very offensive heavy. But honestly, the defense has been there too. Maple Leaf fans, I know you guys are crazy. I love you guys. I know most guys hate you, but I don't. So I really want to know how you guys are excited for the season. Do you think you can keep it up? Do you think the goalies will keep it up? And what goalie do you think should be started game 1? In my opinion, it probably should be Samsonov, but we'll see if he can keep consistent. Hopefully you guys start getting more healthy and keep healthy and etc. going towards the playoffs. But in my opinion, guys, Toronto Maple Leafs are the best Canadian team right now, and I think it's pretty easy to tell. All right, guys, that is gonna be this video. Please drop a like if you guys did enjoy it all. It helps out the channel a lot. Thank you all for being here. If you guys are new here, welcome. And if you guys have been here before, welcome back. You are loved. Thank you guys so much for being here. Be great and subscribe, motherfuckers.